I'm happy that of those 4 astronauts, one of them is black. It shows us that black people have the ability to do things. Black people, we have the ability to do great things. Our problem is that we don't have direction. Everybody is pursuing things that are irrelevant. You see people say they are turning so and so age, and they channel so much resources to do a birthday. Somebody wakes up in the morning, rushes to the church to go and pray. By 4 o'clock, he's rushing to the church again. When are you going to study the elements? When are you going to study physics? When will you study chemistry? Very soon you see another program on television again, Big Brother. You can never see anything about what we encourage our children to pursue science as a knowledge that can transform us. Hello everybody, my name is Dr. Caesar Osahene Iyayi. I am your advocate for the industrial development, industrial manufacturing of Africa, a process that I continue to insist should begin from Nigeria. Just last week here, we witnessed another great feat in human ability to conquer the elements. We saw the American spaceship taking 4 people to go and travel around the moon. To the extent you will see the dark side of the moon and return to Earth. At the moment, they are 3/4 of the way to the moon. This was achieved by human beings. I'm happy that of those 4 astronauts, one of them is black. That means that one person has roots here in Africa. It shows us that black people have the ability to do things. I'm not saying that black man is the best in America. I'm sure they put him in there because he has met the requirements and for purpose of balance. So let's have him there. But if he did not learn physics and chemistry and biology, the physicists, if he did not learn mathematics, he will not be able to qualify. So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying is that black people, we have the ability to do great things. Our problem is that we don't have direction. We don't have a purpose. We don't have an objective. We don't have a plan. We ought to have a plan. Look at what happened. It took 2 elements, oxygen and hydrogen, combined them to be able to create lift-off, to defy the Earth's gravity and take people towards the moon. In about 5 days' time or so, they'll be back to the Earth. Triumph of engineering and technology powered by human beings, but unfortunately not by black people. And that is where my story and my mission continue to resonate. The need for us as black people to have a focus. Here in Africa, you see people who are leading us, whether they are in the military or whether they are in the democratic setup, they are always in a hurry. You see them, long convoy, where are they rushing to? Probably going for a burial ceremony, or they are going for a marriage, or they are going for birthday celebration. Something frivolous, nothing of substance. And it is rather unfortunate that we are not aware that we are lost. I'm not criticizing because I'm not talking about only the leadership of Africa. I'm also talking about the people, the populace, regardless of religion, regardless of education, regardless of tribe. We have the same deformity. It permeates the entire structure, social structure of Nigeria, of Africa. Everybody is pursuing things that are irrelevant. We focus on things that don't have any substance. You see people, so they are turning so and so age, and they channel so much resources to do a birthday. Friends will be contributing 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, as the case may be. To do what? To gather people in one auditorium and they say all sorts of rubbish, which they say are nice things about you. Even the criminal, they find good things to say about them. We are pursuing birthday. If we're not doing birthday, we are doing a loud marriage. It's not a loud marriage, naming ceremony. There's always something to celebrate. Nothing wrong with that, but why waste too much money on it? That is the question. We are talking about Easter as Christians. The Muslims have their own celebrations to do. Every month, every other month, there's something to celebrate, either in Christianity or in Islam, or in marriages, or in burials. To the extreme, so much so that we don't even have time for ourselves anymore. Jesus Christ, if you are a Christian, he prayed in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. And then later on, somebody asked him, how do we pray? He said, if you pray, do not pray like the Pharisees do. Just say, our Father who art in heaven. Keep the prayer very brief. So he gave us an option. You can pray for 40 days and 40 nights, or you can say a very brief prayer, and then you don't have time to go and subdue the earth. Here in Africa, here in Nigeria, everybody is focusing on religion. A lot of emphasis. Somebody wakes up in the morning, rushes to the church to go and pray. By 4 o'clock, he's rushing to the church again. When are you going to study the elements? When are you going to study physics? When will you study chemistry? Very soon you see another program on television again, Big Brother. You can never see anything about what we encourage our children to pursue science as a knowledge that can transform us. Instead, our focus is on things that do not matter, things that will give us instant gratification. We need a purpose. People in government, where is the direction? Yes, now we have Dangote refinery. I understand he wants to double the capacity. Many people are not happy about it. Some of us are happy because you can see the impact of that refinery on our economy. Great impact. You don't have to like Dangote, but the substance of what he's doing is great. There are many former people in government and some in government that are richer than Dangote, but they will not invest. Instead, they go and hide their money somewhere and create unemployment in Nigeria. Dangote, I understand now, is going to produce fertilizer, which, of course, the feedstock is gas again, natural gas, because it contains methane. If you are going to produce fertilizer, you are going to need, apart from nitrogen, you also need hydrogen. And that hydrogen is available in methane. So they're going to grab the hydrogen from that methane and add nitrogen to it to create the fertilizer that we are looking for. I hear also that this year, Dangote will be able to produce so much fertilizer that will be exporting fertilizer to other countries. Is that not great? Now that the Strait of Hormuz is closed, countries that are producing fertilizer in the Middle East that are rich in natural gas are not able to export their fertilizer, their urea. That brought to my attention that, look at these people, they are Muslims. We think that they are dogmatic people, but they have the knowledge to invest heavily in the manufacturing of fertilizer, of urea. Yet we have them here in the quantum. Nigeria has the largest gas reserve in Africa, and we are not even utilizing it. We can utilize it to create energy, to create electricity, to generate power, and use that power in a particular location to start manufacturing things, so that we not only rely on exporting commodities If Dangote was not producing petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, naphtha, of course, in the process you also produce heavy oil, and then 60-70 bitumen, HPFO, LPFO. If it wasn't producing all those things here right now, I submit to you that the exchange rate, instead of 1,400, will be about 5,000 by now. That singular intervention by Dangote has saved the day for us. Imagine if you can have 100 Dangotes in Nigeria. Nigeria will be transformed. My dream is that Dangote is producing oil, is producing urea or fertilizer. My dream, before I pass on to eternity, is for Nigeria to be able to manufacture that refinery. Instead of importing it, be able to manufacture that refinery here in Nigeria. We should be able to manufacture that plant that is producing fertilizer here in Nigeria. I was telling somebody, I said, Brazil is making aeroplanes. They said, how? I said, it's very easy. The only difficult part of an aeroplane are the jet engines. So much so that only about 4 countries can produce it on the commercial, just America, General Electric, and Rolls-Royce. All the other ones are just additions because they are not able to produce the quality and the one that have the economic efficiency to be able to function properly. People used to say rocket science. Oh, if somebody is intelligent, say, oh, is it rocket science? Rocket science is elementary compared to a jet engine. But what is Brazil doing? They make the fuselage. They use aluminum to make all the parts. The fuselage, the wings, the tanks, the flaps, the vertical stabilizer, the horizontal stabilizer. And then they bring in the engines, the turbines, the jet engines from either Rolls-Royce or General Electric, which we can also do. But we are so remote from reality that we cannot even imagine that it's possible. I want us to start having that imagination, because you have to be able to think of something and dream about it before you can do it. I remain your advocate for the industrial development of Africa, a process I continue to insist will begin from Nigeria. My name is Dr. Caesar Osaheni Yayi. Until next time, bye-bye.